In late autumn, as the northern winds whisper through the silent canyons, Canada's maple forests burst into a final symphony of crimson fire. The mountains burn with red, reflecting the life force that pulses through this vast and untamed wilderness. Beneath these glowing canopies lies a world older and wilder than imagination allows. A realm of creatures sculpted by ice, stone, and the eternal struggle to survive. The bighorn's deadly dance. High upon rocky ridges, North American bighorn sheep stand vigilant. They look calm at a glance, regal even, with their massive curled horns arching like the handles of ancient swords. But peace here is an illusion. For as winter approaches and ewes come into heat, battle lines are drawn in silence. Two rams face each other, their eyes narrow. Without a sound, they leap forward, crashing skull against skull at speeds reaching 30 kilometers per hour. The mountains echo with thunderous impacts, resonating like war drums across the cliffs. These battles are not only tests of strength, but of endurance, intelligence, and resilience. The winner will claim exclusive mating rights, and his genes will live on through spring's newborn lambs when icy winds finally soften, and the land renews its eternal cycle. Their horns, weighing up to 15 kilograms, are etched with growth rings, tree-like records of their age and victories. Every strike risks death, but they are born to fight. Without such contests, the strong would never rise, and the herd would weaken with time. This is the price of nature's perfection. Pronghorns, ghosts of speed. On the golden grasslands below, pronghorn antelopes drift like swift shadows. These animals are the second fastest on Earth, only surpassed by the cheetah, reaching blistering speeds of up to 100 kilometers per hour. Yet here, in Canada's wide plains, they roam almost unseen. They are called ecological ghosts, for though they were once abundant, their numbers today are rare and fragile. But watch them run, muscles coiling and releasing in flawless rhythm, and you will witness the poetry of life, unbound by fences or walls. Wolves of the forgotten wild. Hidden in the forest's silent embrace is the shadow of the wolf, a creature so elusive that its first capture on camera in North America was a landmark event. They are intelligent strategists, watching the bison herds with icy focus. Bison, colossal and iron-muscled, stand as their greatest adversaries, but wolves know patience is their sharpest fang. They circle, test, and probe for weakness, a ritual older than memory. Long before modern humans set foot here, the indigenous peoples observed these wolves, learning from their stealth and tactics. Wearing wolf skins, hunters approach bison herds unnoticed, mimicking the silent predators. At the right moment, they burst from concealment, driving bison into a frenzied stampede, straight off cliffs into what became known as Bison Falls. There, the tribes harvested their prey without a single weapon raised. Nature's wisdom was their guiding spear. The beavers, builders of civilization. Venture west into the Rocky Mountains stretching 5,000 kilometers from Alaska to New Mexico, and you will find a very different kind of engineer, the beaver. Their dams are masterpieces, spanning hundreds of meters, meticulously constructed with gnawed-down branches, mud, and stone. They are not merely shelters, but vast hydrological systems. Beavers create wetlands that support entire ecosystems, regulating water flow, preventing floods, and creating habitats for countless other species. A saying among the First Nations peoples remains true: beavers built the world we live in. But their story is tragic too. In 1659, two French explorers arrived, and within a year, tens of thousands of beavers were slaughtered for their prized fur. At one point, 55 tons of pelts were seized and shipped away by a fleet of 100 ships, decimating their numbers to less than 1/10 of their former abundance. Today, some Canadians still hunt beavers, eating only their tails. We humans, who call ourselves higher animals, often forget the wisdom even the smallest creature carries, that to destroy others is to destroy ourselves. The capelin feast. Far east on Newfoundland's coast, the seas come alive with a spectacle of abundance. Every year, billions of capelin gather in dense silver clouds, rolling onto beaches like living surf. The sand glitters with life. Above them, seagulls dive and scream, joining the feast. In the water, hundreds of humpback whales arrive from the warm Caribbean, their immense jaws engulfing tons of capelin daily. For the capelin, survival is a game of numbers. Amid the frenzy, they lay and fertilize their eggs swiftly, ensuring their species' future before the tides pull them back to the ocean's depths. Such teeming richness once drew the first European settlers to Canada's shores. But when they arrived, they found that this land was no empty wilderness. The Pasac indigenous people had lived here for countless generations, their bodies and weapons adorned with red-pleated stones, hence the colonial name Red Indians. They respected the cycles of life, hunting only what was needed, transforming forests into grasslands to sustain the herbivores they depended upon. Goats on the razor's edge. In the Rockies' sheer cliffs, mountain goats defy gravity itself. Their hooves grip the narrowest ledges as they climb slopes so steep that no predator can follow. To fall here is death, yet they move with a calm grace that borders on the divine. For newborn goats, life is perilous. Golden martens stalk the cliffs, targeting the weakest kids. Despite their mother's desperate defense, the lone and fragile often succumb. In these heights, there is no mercy, only survival. Wolverines, the phantom warriors. In the vast forests of northern Canada, where snow buries the land for 6 months each year, a ghost hunts silently, the wolverine. Short-legged but powerful, its broad paws let it stride across deep drifts with ease. Its dense fur locks in warmth as temperatures plunge far below freezing. When a deer dies in the cold night, crows feast first, but the wolverine's sharp teeth and crushing jaws ensure it claims what remains. However, not even the wolverine is safe from its own kind. One female sniffs out her rival's hidden cache, digging through a meter of packed snow to steal the frozen prize. In nature, cunning is often as vital as strength. The salmon's final journey. Then comes the season of salmon, when hundreds of millions swim upstream from the Pacific Ocean, returning to the streams where they were born, to spawn and die. Wolves become fishermen, catching salmon with precision. But they do not eat the meat, wary of parasites. Instead, they savor only the heads and nutrient-rich skins. They leave the fleshy remains to crows and eagles, who strip the carcasses clean. In this exchange, all thrive. Salmon feed over 200 species in these forests, but none benefit more than the bears. Black bears, usually vegetarians, gorge themselves on fish to build the fat reserves needed for their long winter sleep. Among them is a rare spirit, the white-scaled bear. Neither albino nor polar bear, it is a subspecies of black bear unique to Canada. Its pale fur is an evolutionary gift, giving it an edge when hunting salmon in bright, reflective waters. The crow's clever feast. On rocky shores, crows pluck seashells from crevices, flying high and dropping them like bombs to shatter their hard armor. Their intelligence is renowned, a testament to the quiet genius thriving beyond our gaze. Nearby, a raccoon pulls a fat sandworm from the mud, savoring its salty taste as a prized delicacy. Life here is harsh, but every creature has its tricks to survive. A warning from the wild. For thousands of years, this land has remained a bastion of true wilderness. But as our cities rise and our industries expand, these ancient cycles grow ever more fragile. Beavers, bison, wolves, salmon, goats, crows, all are pieces of a grand puzzle. Remove one, and the entire ecosystem shifts, teeters, and may collapse. Even animals know how to coexist, each playing their part without greed or waste. But we humans, who claim dominion over all, often forget this truth. If wild animals vanish from the earth, how long before we follow them into silence? If we continue to hunt, pollute, and consume without restraint, we may find ourselves alone on a barren planet, whispering regrets to skies devoid of eagles, forests empty of song. The legacy of the land. Canada remains one of the last frontiers of true wilderness on Earth. Its story is written in glaciers and rivers, in the bloodlines of wolves and salmon, in the beating hearts of maple forests glowing red against autumn skies. In the end, this is not just a documentary about wildlife. It is a mirror held to ourselves, a reminder that we are not apart from nature, but born of it, breathing its air, drinking its waters, and living upon the bones of its ancient mountains. To cherish these lands and their creatures is to protect our own future, for nature's fate is humanity's fate. And here in Canada's endless wild lies both a warning and a hope.